Let's see where we'll be starting. It's going to be University. Get ready to dive into the action. We'll see what these teams are going to be bringing to the forefront. Looks like a Zarya here from Free. No Diva to be found. Yep, Zarya out from guard, so triple tank with the McCree coming in for exit.
Interestingly, we will see the Pokepo starting Reinhardt here, actually, so not Alpha, interestingly enough. Yeah. As the crosshair was bugged briefly, it's going to be fine. See, has perfect line of sight here. Evo's getting burst down. He's trying to use this high ground to maybe collapse down on top of Element Mystic, but the fight is won. A repel on this Ana means that's going to be very difficult to collapse in.
Guard taking a lot of damage there from Bazzi, however, repel will be taken out by Adora, as Farah has been pretty much untouched. Go in, they take down Poke. They'll be able to find the kill in onto Adora there in the end, but the rest is out from Evo, which means that 7 might just be able to grab this first cap. Element Mystic still playing forward, but now going to be peeling back off of this one. 7's going to be on the low ground. They start taking this one up. A tag in from Jexay, trying to delay this as best as possible, but not going to be enough. 7 are able to go ahead and lock this down.
Important to note that Free is winning in the Zarya matchup as well. 20% ult advantage right now over guard, so it's going to be difficult to engage. They're going to use this flank.
Oh, looking for that pin. Deadeye coming through. Xay able to take down Mika, so no res going to be available. Bazzi with an answering Deadeye. Just goes ahead and trades out against the enemy with Shatter. Shatter comes down from Pokebo, but no real follow-up kills to be found yet. Evo dead. Outside of that, nothing else really, and even Jexay will fall. Bazzi getting knocked by that ult, not going to be doing anything really. Fedora throws down that barrage. It's going to be the grab coming in. Right clicks, trying to burst them down. Self-destruct straight up into their faces.
The bigger bang
gets the double kill. Revenge and Free both going to fall. Rez comes in from Mika, brings Free back into the mix, and Exy going to get taken down. Bazzi yet again winning out in the McCree battle. A very fast flip and flip back. 7 in control yet again.
The bigger bang was a sick combo, an old school one, but it was done too late. The advantage in respawn timers for 7 because they're winning the later fight was there. It's fitting that guard would play the Zarya. I thought that would be where he fits in this new meta, but unfortunately he's getting outclassed.
Another Deadeye here, speaking of outclassing, Exy has not really been able to match Bazzi. Gets the kill there on the repel, and Popo goes down. Another Shatter ready here from Evo. Flashbang going in, headshot through. That's going to be guard going down as Bazzi picks up multiple kills here for his squad. 60% moving up Element Mystic. Will they change things? So far, still going to be maintaining the same comp.
Repel holds on to the Nano. So they still run this old school support duo, looking to probably boost Pokepo so he can actually get in and do massive damage. Evo's got the Shatter though, so he has to hold the shield up. It's already damaged. They back away knowing the shield can't last much longer. If he drops it, this is what happens.
Throws it down, catches 2, Pin getting ready to come in. We'll get the pop out there onto Dako, and Pokepo can't do anything to try to protect him. The Nano Boost comes in from Repel, but they're in such an awkward position here where Bazzi nearly has another Deadeye ready to go. Exit uses his, but doesn't find anything, doesn't line it up, so just has to cancel in the end. Free gets pinned, Free will fall, as does Adora. As Element Mystic charge in onto the point to try to get this flip. Should be able to do so just before that overtime comes in. Yes, 98% here, but they have to hold this all the way up to 100 if they want to get the win.
It's a huge burden for 7 to return to the point though because of the ult disadvantage they have, so it's going to take some time. But if they use their pushes, their eco pushes to build ultimates effectively, there's certainly a way they can make it happen. They could also use the barrage to flank Pokepo from behind.
Shatter coming down, but it's going to be blocked there, and the bubble was up as well from Free, so not getting anything there is Pokepo. Dako getting chunked out, tries to make it onto the low ground, won't be able to do so. And now it's going to have to wait for the remake or just get taken down. Guard under fire. Stays alive for the moment, but it's going to be another Deadeye, but it's a little bit too late. Doesn't find that shot. The Sleep Dart comes in, but Element Mystic are just getting chewed apart. Jexay going to be one of the few members alive, but doesn't say that. Gets taken down by Adora right before that sound barrier comes through, and now it's Dako charging in. Doesn't have a self-destruct. Going to get popped out of the mech. Can't get back in instantly, and will just get taken out by Bazzi. And 7 coming forward, looking to hand Element Mystic a loss on control. A rare one for them. They'll take the first round on University, 100-57.
Xi was known on the McCree for his accuracy and his positioning, but in this particular game, with a composition that doesn't allow flexible positioning, we always saw Bazzi was the one on the high ground. Bazzi always had line of sight advantage. He did more consistent damage behind the Reinhardt shield and Pokepo that was always forced forward. So it wasn't really protection that Xi had, which in the past he did. He was the Lone McCree, we call it like the lone cowboy comp, where McCree's the solo DPS, he's protected by the supports and the tanks, and he just blows up the enemy tanks that dive him. But in the McCree versus McCree, positional disadvantages led to his demise multiple times, so he just wasn't able to do as much damage. So Bazzi winning out the trades. We will see a bit of a swap here in terms of supports, with Mika running the Lucio to help Brigitte get into position, and we're going to have Bazzi Soldier versus the McCree here.
Yeah, dive onto the high ground there from Popo, and he's just getting lit up. He'll go down. Bazzi finding the first kill on guard, and Dako as well, nearly knocked out of that mech. Flashbang will be halting the progress here from the side of 7, but good opening kills. Element Mystic trying to fire back. Rockets coming in, take down Bazzi. 3 members dead. Mika going low. Point now unlocking. And that's going to be Evo falling as Dako comes up with a double kill. Element Mystic looking to get the first cap this time around.
It's a really good thing that Element Mystic is running the McCree, because 7 has a very sustainable comp with the Lucio, with the Soldier, and the Brigitte. But the burst damage that McCree offers, especially when boosted here by Jexay, is enough to get them those kills, especially after we saw that stun come through. They have the high ground controlled. With the Brigitte comp, it's tough to get up there. They're either going to have to use the jump pad or sneak around a different angle.
Mika comes on Bazzi. Everybody's just dying. A death ball coming through from Element Mystic, just rolling them over. Pulse bomb out. Not going to be finding anything here from Adora, but guard walking in. Evo just snatches him up, zaps him to death. Got Jexay as well, but Exy was here for the pickup. Takes down the enemy Winston, and Element Mystic will maintain control. 40% just about.
Evo tries to jump up. You know, they try to come in there and collapse. They get a lot of ult charge with it, and they're soon to have a rally. But they need to flip this before 75 realistically if they want to have a chance of actually maintaining ult advantages.
Pulse bomb in, guard looking for the pop there. Manages to find one. Bazzi going down. Self-destruct use from Dako, not going to be finding any picks. Back into the Mac, and Exy here now starting to show up on this McCree. Gets the kill onto Mika, and Element Mystic just keeps stomping them down.
Yeah. Of course, I mentioned jump pad earlier. I mostly was meaning the dive from Winston, and Bazzi can dive now on the Genji, but they don't have other mobility options free on the Diva now, switching off of the Rita so they can get up on the high ground. There's no other way to get up there on this particular map, so jump pads on the other one, but they need to get up there somehow. They have a more mobile comp now, but Adora switches over to this
dive in, but he's getting burned down. Manages to pick up that health pack in time and dash to the side to keep himself alive. Exy, however, finds revenge. Deadeye goes in, takes down Bazzi. Mika is able to pick up the kill onto the McCree. Primal Rage from both of these Winstons. Poco finds one. Evo getting Jexay, so an exchange on some healers here on either side. Pulse bomb from guard takes down 3, and Evo going dangerously low, trying to finish him off. Will manage to get Xay, stays alive, but now has to get in onto the point because it's 99% to 0. As Element Mystic looks to tie us up, take us to City Center. Adora gonna fall, repel, going down. Pokepo as well, dangerously low. Will get cut out of the fight. Flip comes in overtime. 7, can they hold this all the way through?
They needed the mobility, so they switched the all their heroes to mobile heroes. They switched the Brigitte to the Diva, switched Bazzi off the Soldier into the Genji, and Adora pops on to the Doomfist. So 4 of the 6 heroes have great mobility. They still keep this Brigitte by putting Revenge onto it here, so still having that burst heal for Bazzi and the Doomfist to give armor, so it's a really nice comp.
Stun coming in there, guard trying to lock up Evo. Sound barriers in from 7 as Revenge just keeps smacking away. Self-destruction from Dako though, and he finds 2. Bazzi and Revenge both going down. Exy, a lot of headshots going through in onto Evo. Takes him dangerously low, but cannot get the kill. Meteor strike up from Adora. Looking for a pick coming down on top of the Zenyatta. Not going to be finding the hit. Flashbang in, Adora down, Adora dead. Dako takes him out with the rockets. Element Mystic going to shift over and start looking for the retake.
Now they get the retake. And 7 is just going to have to Hail Mary run at this. The Deadeye's going to make it tough.
Oh, the bubble! It's not going to be enough. Evo comes right out of it. It gets taken down in midair.
Bazzi's dead too.
Finally awake here, it would seem, on this McCree, and he's just going to push forward fearlessly. Flashbang in, finds a headshot onto Free. The flip getting ready to come through. Adora desperately trying to hold this one off, but a Doomfist can only do so much. And that should be it here. Element Mystic tying things up on Oasis. Tying things up on Oasis.
They will win this fight.
Tying things up on Oasis. Yeah, that's just going to be the delays coming through, but they get picked off one after the other. City Center to decide it all.
So, City Center going to be the Pharah map of the 3, where she is most relevant. And let's see how this one pans out, because already we could see XC is either on fire, positional advantage, extra peel, or was just unable to get line of sight. That was really the difference there. It was very difficult to get him off the high ground to break him. That's why they switched to the Doomfist. The Brigida was swapped over, and they brought the Diva back with the Genji. But it still just wasn't enough to break through. As we look at these comps again, it looks like the similar setup in terms of, you know, the hit scan, right? Yeah. It's going to be the Soldier versus the McCree with Tracers on both sides. Brigida on the side of 7. Brigida lists for Ela Mystic. So Dako, he's going to have a hard time protecting. He doesn't have that peel. He doesn't have that stun to defend against the Tracer. But he will be able to, if he uses his defense major correctly, mitigate a lot of the damage from Soldier, as well as be able to dive aggressively at range. So the more mobile comp, but less stuns, obviously.
Well, because of that, Soldier 7 wanted to sit up on the high ground, so they use the jump pad to get there. They get up top, but now they're going to have to come down if they want to contest Element Mystic. Medora operating low for the moment, forced to use the recall already, trying to build up for that pulse bomb. He is very far ahead of guard at the moment, and Pokemon's going to be the first one who goes down. Razzie, wanting the first kill, follows up for a double, getting rid of Jexay.
Very sustainable as well, similar to what I was talking about before with this comp, because Brigida gives AoE heals. You have Bazzi has his own, you know, biotic field, and you have the Lucio for AoE healing that Element Mystic just simply does not have. You don't sacrifice the Discord Orb with this comp because you don't need the mobility right now because you have this controlled. So it's a farless battle here, which is a little bit surprising. Again, just seeing different flavors of these teams in this very flexible meta. Jump pad again, by the way. One more time. One more time. No? Okay, I'm fired. There we go.
Nora down to 60 HP, gets healed back up. Bazzi's still on the high ground, nearly has the attack visor ready to go. Pulse bomb in from guard, manages to find free. Gets a little bit of damage there. Just got a tickling the Soldier. He'll be forced off that position. Drops down. 7 here struggling. Need this attack visor to pop off. Diva right up in his face, tries to cut around the corner, tries to get in onto guard, but cannot finish him off, and he'll just go down guard, able to finish him off in the end. Element Mystic looking for the flip here, as 7 is approaching 50%.
Yeah, this is looking really rough here on the side of 7 in this fight, though. Guard is just maximizing the damage. He's able to do so much of it.
He's got another pulse bomb ready to go, but he
doesn't need it. But they need to grab it as soon as possible. A lot of time being bought currently by Mika, finally taken out here. But yeah, Guard was able to do a lot of consistent damage throughout that fight. He was the Sombra main. He was only on Sombra throughout the entirety of Season 1. So you have to expect, you know, he's going to be playing these heroes that play similarly, right? The Tracer and also the Zarya and Brigida that kind of have that similar type of play style where you have to be up close and personal to do damage. He's not playing long-range hit scan. So the big 6 nearly ready here with Transcendence almost up. The armor is going to be ready for 7 shortly, and they will be able to use that to initiate a fight.
They're getting free percentage right now. Not going to have the cap, though. Guard going in, tries to toss that pulse bomb, not going to find the stick. Dashes through, gets stunned up, but has the recall, barely manages to stay alive, and they still follow up with the Killian on to free the sound barrier. A bit too late to try to keep him alive, and now there's not going to be a rally as well for the side of 7. Deadeye, drop off the high ground, finds Evo, revenges dead Bazzi, shut down an Element Mystic. They're pushing closer to 56% so they can tie it up on Oasis. All right, I'm done. That's the last time I'll do that.
All right, you and your Sea of Thieves megaphone, man. All right, Freeze got the rally. They're going to use that to initiate, like I was mentioning before. And sorry, I can't take it seriously.
I'm sorry, I'm derailing everything.
They have the armor, and they're going to look to try to get onto Exceed, but he's so well protected back here. He has the stun he can use as well. He holds it, doesn't even need it. And they've wasted all their mobility options to try to get on top of him now, so he's in a good spot. Gets killed by Revenge.
Yeah, Revenge finds 2 of them! Jexy and Exy both going down. And now Evo.
Repel pushed into a car.
Yeah, pushing him into traffic. Repel gonna go down. Flip ready to happen here from the side of 7. A slight delay from Pokepo. It really just kind of staggers himself a bit, as does Dako. They want to get as close to 99% as they can. I understand it, but
it's really,
you're massively disconnected from the rest of your squad now.
It's really nice for 7 that the hero that maintains the armor is actually the Zenyatta. Yeah. Because that's the most vulnerable one. That's the one that's having the most problems if Guard gets into the back line.
No more 1-clips.
Yeah, exactly. And excuse me, not Guard. Dora here is waiting. No one's coming this way. So this is going to be basically a 1 fight to decide everything situation here. Here's he predicts it, gets the stun. XZ
the flashbang kill and a two-man pulse bomb from Guard gets rid of Free and Bazzi. Looking to retake this one very swiftly. Guard dashes into the back, the armor be damned, they want revenge. Still haven't got a manage to take him out right at the end there. Dawko able to follow up for the kill. Flip comes through, 98%. Can they get a tag in? They do. Into the back, I believe it was Adora. Pulse pump from him, Yu's not gonna find anything, and now Mika gonna be taken out right at the start of the fight. Deadeye, just to push back anybody, and Element Mystic still gonna be maintaining a nearly pristine record on Control as they take a win on Oasis.
Going up to the 7-1. And now we're headed into Hybrid. Their impervious record of 6-0 still stands on this map type. But XZ used something we saw Youngjin and Climax use quite a bit throughout Season 1. It's just the good old wait for the Tracer, the predictability of the Tracer looking for the pick when you shoot a few shots and they know in general where you are, and then you just hide in the corner. They zip by, you shoot the flashbang and shoot them in the head. If you're as good at McCree as XZ is, you can hit moving targets and hit them in the head consistently. When they're stuck in front of you, stunned, you're never going to miss that shot. You get the free kill, you have the winning opening because there's no res to come out for a Tracer in a situation like that. They're running the Lucio, anyways, so there's no res for the Tracer. It's a 6v5 at that point. You have positional advantage with the McCree, and you have the point controlled, so they have to come to you, which is where McCree really shines. He will get even stronger, of course, in upcoming patches where the fall-off damage is buffed. So that's a scary thought to think about for what the meta will be changed as. Soldier will get similar treatment.
His range now going to be ridiculous. I think it's 70 meters up to 200 now.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah, as that comes through. But okay, Element Mystic still able to get the victory there on Oasis to start things off. 7 last time out. Trying to think. Their loss to Metabellum. Their map pick was Eichenwald when it came down to Hybrid. No matter what they choose here, it still doesn't look good for them just because of Element Mystic's undefeated record on Hybrid. They have not lost a single one in all of Season 1. Even in their loss, their final loss to
O2 Ardiant.
Yeah, sorry, O2 Ardiant.
Yeah. So
you see, the memory is not as good as it used to be. But O2 Ardiant, yes, of course, the reverse sweep ended on Lijiang Tower. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, even in that match, it was because of the reverse sweep coming in, able to win there. Assault is when they started losing, and OT was able to take it all the way through. So Element Mystic still going to be very much theoretically in control as we get ready to move forward into our second map.
I think the one map that everyone's thinking about right now for 7 is Hollywood. It's an old Bazzi favorite, and we did not usually see XZ on that map. We're going to see the Tuba sub in.
Okay.
So maybe not.
No Bazzi, so Tuba.
So Tuba is, of course, most famous for his Pharah and his Genji. And with Sparkle, off the roster for Element Mystic, that's the big thing. I mean, so just to put that out there, we talk about the controversy once, and you guys can, Google it after that. But Sparkle was years ago account selling, so it was found to be guilty of that. So Element Mystic decided themselves to put him on suspension.
Yeah.
And so he will not be playing this season. But the lack of a Genji straight up for Element Mystic could be a concern as Tuba comes into the booth here. That's going to be the replacement for Bazzi. Now, Tuba could also be a fantastic Hanzo player, for example. We don't know what his main role will be in this new meta. We don't have that info yet. And obviously we teased him a bit for his air blades throughout the early part of regular season.
But for every air blade that he had that was that happened, he had maybe like 2 or 3 really good dragon blades that did come through. So expecting good things from him on the Genji as he gets ready to come in. But like you said, it could just be the Hanzo going over wants to play the other brother, the other side of the twins.
Yeah, the other Shimada. I don't know, what this says about what map we're going to go to, though, but it feels like Hollywood's kind of off the table. It feels like maybe we're going to King's Row, could be, if he's going to be playing more of a Hanzo-oriented pick. If they want to go back to the Zarya, that worked really well for them as we went into University on Oasis. We're going to take a look at some replays from that last map, though, where, on this point, sure, they got the bigger bang, but the fight was already lost. It was XZ who either excelled with positional advantages or was shut down by the more mobile comps of 7. A really close series on Oasis.
It really was for a bit there. A lot of back and forth coming through, but Element Mystic able to get it in the end. And I think that subbing out Bazzi here probably going to be a good move from the side of 7. Didn't look very strong at all on the Soldier 76.
Yeah.
I think that maybe just sticking with McCree, trying to match Exy, where you were beating him on University, would have been a better strategy as you progress through Garden and City Center. But they tried to divert from that. They tried to do something a little bit different. And very much like all of the Soldier 76s that we've seen in recent memory, it didn't do very well.
Yeah, I mean, their comp was super sustainable. I think that was the idea. They wanted to be able to win the tank battle because they had the Brigida as well, so they can stun. And then after the tanks get eventually burned down, you drop the Helix rockets in, Soldier 76 has a large clip. Then, you know, you collapse in and you win the fight because you've got Lucio, you have the speed boost to put the Soldier where he needs to be. But it just didn't end up working out because the burst damage was there for Ixie, and he was able to hit those headshots where they counted. So we are going to head into this second map choice in just a moment here. Only substitution again is Tuba for Bazzi. Element Mystic not putting Alpha on the table just yet.
We'll go ahead and take a look at the hybrid map record here.
6-0 for Element Mystic. They dropped 0.
Yeah.
As mentioned before.
It's been a good run, you know, for these guys on hybrid, but Hollywood, like you said, with the sub-in coming through, maybe off the table, but even if it was on the table, not sure if they wanted to go for it given the 50-50 record that they have. But Numbani with the Genji, certainly seeming like it's the most probable pick here from the side of 7.
Yeah.
From the side of 7.
They're 2-0 on it, and that is going to be the way. Yep. So despite the fact that, you know, we know Bazzi has shown a lot of Widow on Hollywood and on the street space of Numbani, they're going to go to the dive here to counter Element Mystic. This is going to be really exciting because now we get to see how Element Mystic sets up with Guard. Is he just going to continue to be on the Tracer on its flexibility against the dive that comes through, or is he going to be flexing over to the Brigida? Let's find out.
All right, here we are. Map number 2 with EM leading by 1. Right now, maybe a Junkrat as Exy gets ready to show the Widowmaker.
And this is where we're going to start to feel and remember that this is not the same Element Mystic we saw in Season 1, because Sparkle was the Genji on attack on Numbani, and he was the defensive Peel Junkrat on defense. He fit the role perfectly, and it was what his entire role on the team was to actually fill this hole, and that was his entire career, and everything he practiced was for moments like this. Guard was Sombra only. So during this short period of time since Sparkle's been suspended by Element Mystic, Guard he's had to, okay, this is weird, but he's had to kind of learn and improve this. It may not matter. This is not going to be according to training, because this is going to be the attack Bastion.
Now. They know that he is running this, but attack Bastion.
Going to shove it up here on this high ground and defend it with the Reinhardt shield. Turret's down.
Clears that one out. Barrier going to get shredded down here, but a nice boop off the back there. No more shield available, and Revenge going to get taken down. Great dissection here from the side of Element Mystic so far. The Bastion will just get finished off. Popo with a decent angle, able to just go ahead and spray him down with the left clicks. And 7th, their first assault, not going to work out. We'll see if they still want to try to run the Bastion.
It's a good old MVP space special where you force the Bastion into position, you set him up. Usually there's a Lucio involved, but not in this case. You set the Bastion up on the right side here as defender, on left side for 7. And then he does massive damage, and if the team is not ready for it, it can catch them off guard. They're going to continue to run it.
You might just see them taking off the high ground yet again, either by a boop from Dako or by the halt here from Pokebo.
Okay, Dako just tries to knock them off, fails, but the damage is coming through.
Yeah, and that's just going to be enough for Exy to get a line of sight there on a Revenge. Takes him down, Evo falling dangerously low. Res going to be used, and Mika now has that Valkyrie. But you can see Molten Core nearly up for Repel.
The other thing, yeah, the Molten Core, you know, you always feel like you win if you run the Torbjorn and you get the Molten Core, but they have the Rip Tire as an emergency save plan. Oh boy, well this, you know, they almost had the ult advantage to maybe win this over after the Riptide came out if they could make that happen, but there's a lot of ifs. Like, this is a weird setup that has not found a lot of success in professional play here in Korea. But either way, a meta comp now, Tuba on the Genji like we expected. The Molten Core, if they get it.
Here, Free not going to be getting the boop off. Tires coming in, looking for the pop there onto the mech. Manages to get Epo as well. High value coming out of Guard. They'll take down Free, and Repel's just sitting here. He's got the turret position, angling over towards the point, and that Molten Core is ready to go, has not had to use that yet.
The Molten Core basically buys you a whole push.
Yeah.
Barring like some sort of crazy weird situation. They don't have any ults to blow up the turret.
Yeah.
Like this.
Pulse Bomb, nope.
And they won't use it until it's desperation either. It's not like they get to free bait out the Molten Core. I mean, they've got such a nice setup here with XC and Repel on different sides with guard for the peel. Like, how do you break this? It's almost impossible.
Well, they're going to try yet again. Trap thrown down, guard going to go low. The Rockets from free, able to take him down.
So they pull the Molten Core.
Will be the Molten Core, self-destruct in as well from the side of Dako. Makes it back into the mech, not going to be finding any picks. Revenge uses that Transcendence. Rez comes in, Junkrat back into the fray. As Evo falls, Satchel charge in, takes out Adora. Genji boosted up onto the high ground. Azuma gets closer and closer to that Dragon Blade. They'll find the kill onto Repel, but Free can't make it back into the mech, and now Mika's going to go down. Revenge, a sliver of HP left. The shield's starting to come back through, but he has got to get the hell out of there. There's 46 seconds left on the clock, and 7 doesn't even get a single tick.
That's a whole minute burned from the Molten Core, plus the supercharger from Pokepo there at the end. Xyz's just eating this armor here. Look at all the armor coming through from the Torbjorn. So difficult to break this. The Dragon Blade is going to have to be it. That's their best shot.
Yeah.
And Guard is going to be able to peel. He's going to be able to concussive mine.
There's nothing to escort. There's no Transcendence here from Revenge to just try to guide him through.
It's just
obviously no answering one from Element Missing either, but this has to be it.
It's a fool's errand, but
that's just it. He pulls it, but he just dies. Repel takes him out of the fight, and that should be it. Element Mystic looking to pull off the full hold. One tick comes in for 7. There's 12 seconds remaining. Free out of the mech. Free dead. Guard coming up with the hits there. He will die. Zadora is able to find a kill. Tuba, a fast swap over onto the Pharaoh to try to pull this one off. Self-destruct in. But he's blocked by the bubbles. Repel charges forward. Has that Molten Core ready to go. Throwing down. Gets some armor back onto himself. And the Transcendence comes out from Revenge to try to take this last-ditch fight in overtime. But Evo's going to fall. And 7 looking like they're just going to suffer here on Nambani. Their map choice. Their loss. Element Mystic just need a little over a tick.
You know, this term exists in StarCraft, and it's a term that's permeated esports now. It's called a cheese, and what 7 did has been seen before. It's not like this is some sort of innovative new Bastion strategy. It's been used before as sort of a cheese attack composition.
But by MVP.
And when you use a cheese like this, you need to at least gain a huge ult advantage and stick with it for a second push, where you know you're going to be able to use the ults to win the fight. Or you switch immediately after it fails. Ideally, it works on the first push. You catch your opponent off guard, you trip them up with the Bastion attack. But unfortunately, they didn't get either of those things. They switched on the third push. They had ult disadvantages. Torbjorn had the Molten Core built from the free defenses there. And Torbjorn, on the other hand, is not a cheese. In this case, it's a standard defense on Numbani, executed well by Element Mystic. We've seen them do it so many times.
He toes the line. He's right on the border of standard and cheese.
I think it's unusual, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a cheese. It's a standard defense.
It's not completely unexpected.
Yeah. Whereas the Bastion attack is something you see once in a blue moon, and again, it was MVP Space that did it in the past on multiple different maps, the King's Row and this one.
Yeah.
And it was done with the more all-in, right? With the Zarya committed to it as well, and there were a lot of different combos that were set up that way. And on their second push last time they used it, they actually did get the point. But I digress. This ends up being a great win for Element Mystic because they had the Torbjorn, they got the free Molten Core. Now we are going to see, looks like triple tank with the Lucio and Moira to start off the attack.
To be a very fast push here to escort the Brig in.
And with guard switching over to quad, this is another one of those attacks that when you have this much of a time make and you only have to get 36%, you build the Zarya ult, you build the rally. As long as you can be efficient on the push, you're winning all the time. So this is a really great setup for Element Mystic to just basically close this map out.
Well, Tuba needs to have one hell of a performance here with this far to try to shut things down. He's going to be spraying down from above, looking for the hits in onto the healers, and Guard's going to go down first and foremost. So a good opening kill for the side of 7 as they try to hold this off. XC as well going to die, but they trade one back as Evo will fall. Element Mystic still playing forward because they have the time. You know, they can just kind of sit forward like this, get as much percentage as they possibly can rather than bailing off the map.
Yeah.
Just try to get as close to those ults as you can and then just try to roll them. But actually already Element Mystic going to be shifting the comp away. They want to be able to deal with this Pharah. So XC is going to be moving over onto the McCree.
The Pharah is a really nice preemptive prediction by 7, expecting that this kind of comp might come through. You're exactly right. They want to fight as long as possible to get ults, but they didn't get what they wanted. The Pharah kind of cowers them. They already know the barrage is probably ready. So they make the switch here, but they do it after one push. Notice that immediately they recognize that, okay, we didn't get enough out of this. Let's swap it up here. Get onto the high ground. It's a very sustainable comp. Pokepo's already down.
Yeah, a bit of a disconnect there. Dako maybe not in position to defend him, and now Jexay going to fall. Nor with that pulse bomb ready to go. He's going to be hounding down, looking for the Moira. A couple more shots would do it, but heals back, keeps himself alive instead. 7 have multiple ultimates, nearly the big 6 to try to maintain control. I mean, this would be one hell of a defense if they could pull this off.
Yeah, and you know, so far with the big 6, as you say, they look poised to buy at least another minute of time. So XC is going to be escorted via ground. They're not going to try to split up going left and center this time. Just going to go right up the middle, get him into position to burst down the tanks. The Coalescence is going to be useful, but again, they have to get through all these ultimates. So this push isn't going to be the one. You don't have to imagine.
Into the back, not going to be finding that stick. A bit of damage going through in onto Pokepo. We'll go down to about half. Step Barrage comes through, does take down Repelled, 2 but traded, but Guard dies as well. And now Jexay with the Primal Rage from Evo. Got nowhere to go, nor does Dako. Just going to be cornered, and they can just leave him to his own devices. A couple places to jump off the side of the map, though. But still going to be a nice delay.
Really only 2 major ultimates used here, the Barrage and the Primal Rage, with Adora going to be able to build a Pulse Bomb almost instantly. Dako gets reset. That burns more time. We could be looking at a win here for 7. It's absolutely reasonable. They still have ult advantage. XC, you know, he got the kill onto the Pharah that was barraging, but otherwise hasn't really been able to do consistent damage on this McCree. And Element Mystic looks like they're falling back to old habits here because they don't have Sparkle, they don't have a great dive player on this roster, so they're forced to try to escort a McCree onto Numbani point A, which is not meta. It's unusual. He's got the high ground, but he's jumped on.
Yeah, he's looking for that Deadeye, but he's not going to get anything there. Revenge pops that Transcendence, and now Mika takes to the skies with the Valkyrie. See, kites his way back. Dako's still playing forward. Needs that self-destruct to try to open up the point. Pulse bomb in from Guard. Manages to find Revenge, but Mika's still going to be in the fight. Mika does manage to get that res off. Pulse bomb thrown down. Self-destruct from Tree. Finds both healers. Now XC's dead. Pokepo committed the Primal Rage, and all of this confusion. Finds one, but has to abandon the push. And Element Mystic, they might actually be full held off the backside of their full hold.
We wondered where Element Mystic would have their players, what the positions were going to be after Sparkle was gone with this new roster. You know, it's most of the same roster, but we never would see XC on Hybrid.
Yeah.
It was always Sparkle. Now that he has to be played, he's going to his comfort picks, which don't suit the meta. They don't work well on this map. And 7 is making their comp look cheesier even than the Bastion
comp. And Guard's
comp.
just dead. Adora just takes him out. XC manages to answer back. Gets rid of the enemy Tracer, so a 1-for-1 exchange for the Barrage. He's going to be ready to go. Throws this one down the bubble. It's not going to last very long, and Pokepo goes down. Manages to get the pop out onto Dako's mech as well. Res coming in from Jexay brings Guard back into the fight, but he dies. XC goes down. There's only a couple seconds remaining as they're in onto the point. Now the Transcendence comes through from Repel, trying to desperately buy some time for the rest of the squad to arrive. Guard dashes back, goes slow, comes in.
Overtime's taken down. That's going to be it.
Yeah, he has to go back for the Mega Pack. Can't do it. And my God, 7, they managed a full hold after being held on point A, and they deliver Element Mystic their first ever loss on a hybrid map.
That's right, they're 6-1 career-wise now, their first ever loss on this map type. And I think this is really worrying for the future of this squad. They could not, in the time that they discovered that Sparkle, of course, was account selling and it was suspended, in the very short time since his suspension and opening day here for Element Mystic, they could not replace the Genji player on the squad. They do not have a Genji. It is just a hole, a gaping hole that screams, we cannot play Numbani, we cannot play the meta here. We're going to try to escort the McCree, which is simply, against a team of this caliber, going to be a tall order. It's going to be a tall ask, and because he could just never really get to where he wanted to be. He had the Deadeye out in that last fight, but he was shut down by the D-Matrix, and for Element Mystic, it hurts. It hurts knowing that for the majority of the offseason, you were still training Sparkle on the Genji and on the Junkrat, but now that he's gone, it's not the same team. We had the trio, the Guard for Sombra, Sparkle for Genji, Junkrat, Flex, XC for Hitscan. The 3 DPSs that would always switch based on the map, based on the playstyle. We'd see subs almost every game because they had this trio that we knew was going to become the standard here in Korea, and it certainly has. But it's not a trio anymore, it's a duo. And there's no Genji, there's no Junkrat player here.
I mean, what more can you say? It's so very impressive. The only thing that's more impressive than a full hold is just coming back and doing that. The fuller hold, I guess we have to call it.
Yeah, it was like 35.8 versus just they couldn't get the first tick even. So.
Yeah.